Yeah, I was just listening to this. I've been listening to this woman tonight conversation. That's what we need. We need more. That's good. That's good. Them good lectures. Them great lectures. A whole lot better than Diddy Camp. Don't get me wrong, Diddy Camp is necessary for certain things, but it's damn sure overrated. But anyway, I was sitting here thinking, oh yeah, about relationship. I ain't really never really been in a real one, but I can tell you what, I can tell you something about it. Um, like she was saying, she said a man gotta show just as much love. You damn right. I always felt like it needed to be equal reciprocation, regardless. Um, Too much time on either party hand always leads to a disaster, really. If you ain't pouring into each other, you gotta be doing something with your time. Uh, One thing that I do know though, y'all, is that my people need to work on it bad, real bad. Like this game they had me stuck in, these tests, this for me, I felt like it was a chemical of two worlds, which was both evil, racism and narcissistic traits. And them two together, it's like if I was a racist and we had a group and one of us was a narcissist, we had to get rid of that one. Cause it's gonna be irate after that. He gonna bring, or she gonna bring the party all the way down. It's like, and just to be a narcissist and a racist, that's rough. But anyway, the test is going, and the test is passed down to my people. And one thing about that situation is they gonna focus on families. They gonna focus on good people. They're not gonna worry about nobody bad. They're not gonna attack nobody bad. They're gonna attack all good families. And in my situation, I thought I had a beautiful family, but the problem was the woman was weak. And that was my fault for even going with somebody so young-minded. Even though we weren't but a couple years apart, 2 years apart. But the problem was, you gotta know what you know when you get married. If you get married to somebody who's still trying to please their friends, still trying to show love to this and that and this and that, it ain't gonna work. Because in the Bible, like it says, you leave your family you were born with and you start your own. And what happened is that the tests begin. Let's say you do got real friends. They real and they genuine. Don't matter. Because once you get married, God and Satan gonna put that Job test on your ass. And the energy gonna warp. So them ain't gonna be your friend no more. Your friends finna get on all fours and attack that relationship. Whether they can almost help it or not. The test is gonna be for them not to do it. But who actually ever passed them tests when it comes down to who made Pharaoh heart harden? God did. A hardened heart is a seared heart. And only God can lift that. It's test. My father bring all his children here to grow up. What does it mean to grow up? It means to become an individual, a strong individual on your own. That's what it means to grow up. What do we tend to run from on this planet? Jobs, hard labor, getting up and doing something. You must get up and work, get up and move around. You can't sit down all the time. Your curricular activity can't consist on you sitting on your tail all day long. The body don't work like that, and you're gonna extremely gain weight massively just because of the engineering of the body. You gotta get up, you have to move around, you have to make it, you have to walk so many when we was in nutritionists, one of the main things was you have to walk so many miles a day. You gotta do that a day, everybody, the whole world. If you're a human being, you gotta do it. And if you don't, what happens is your metabolism slows down. And once your metabolism slows down, you can eat healthy as you want to eat. You're gonna gain weight rapidly. Ain't no way around it. It's the chemistry of the body. So we don't know this stuff. We don't know this stuff because people never taught us the importance of this stuff. That's why I say schools are vitally important if they start teaching what is real and relevant. All that other stuff, just to brainwash people, need to be thrown in the trash can. So school in the future gonna be vitally important once they change all that narcissistic trait stuff. It's gonna be vitally important for us all, even the teachers itself. And it's gonna be back interesting. You know what I'm saying? But just basically it's just brainwashing. Well, it was when I was in school. It was just all brainwash. Now, anyway, so what am I trying to say here? Everything. Okay, back to relationship. So we got attacked, and it was my fault, because she was always talking sideways when it came down to her love as a friend. She didn't have none, though. Her family hated her guts when we got together, so I figured it would be easy for her to look over that, but I figured wrong. Because as soon as she started moving up with me, and everybody started liking her, it was like she was waiting on that. She was waiting on everybody to start liking her and loving her. And she took all of our earnings, all of our hard work, and gave it to them losers. And it threw our relationship in the trash can. That's what happens when you get into a young marriage. I don't believe in them no more. If I can wind ahead in time, never even thought about no such thing. But being a wife or being a husband come with knowledge, responsibility, wisdom, all that in one. So what do a couple need to do? Well, if you got married, you were once pleasing one another, right? Even if you wasn't having sex first, you can study the body chemistry, and you can learn if you fit for one another without even having sex with each other. I guess people don't want to put the work in, but knowledge is power. And you'll realize real quick just from looking at somebody, oh, that ain't gonna work. Big or small, don't matter. That ain't gonna work, that ain't gonna work, that ain't gonna work. Because you know your body. Like I said, I wasn't dating. I was with a prostitute. We were just close. And she didn't even know how to pleasure her own self. Done been with thousands of men. Had no clue. All she knew is the bigger, the better. What she didn't know was that she was just getting wore out. She was wearing herself out. And that was the only reason why she was getting pleasure from the bigger, the better. That ain't how that works. You gotta know your chemistry. Every woman's chemistry is different. From what I noticed, when it comes down to that, that shadow part. When it comes down to that shadow part, that chemistry different. And you just gotta know how to you gotta know how to navigate around that sucker. You gotta know what's going on, and you can learn that with your hand. You know what I'm saying? If it get to that, hopefully though she'll know it herself, and then you don't have to worry about it. And then when you realize how it navigates, you'll realize why certain men talent is in a different. It's everything shaped different. You see, it's like a key. It's a key. Every key is cut different. And then this woman, okay, you navigate this way. Well, that key is navigate this way. That's gonna be the perfect key right there. It ain't got nothing to do with length of side. I thought y'all was quite embarrassing, honestly. I just did the test because God told me to do the test, and so we could get our justice back. And now when you come over here with all that evil, attacking me with evil and thinking you big bad wolf, we shooting Satan at you. Now, anyway, let me get in my feeling. I thought y'all was a joke anyway. You was sitting there laughing. Some of y'all couldn't even afford your own car, couldn't get your own house, but you had the audacity to break down somebody who had enough sense to get their own car, get their own house, to prepared to get ready to be married and to treat a woman good even if the woman don't treat them good. I thought y'all was quite honestly embarrassing. Now, anyway, when it comes down to relationships, so what do you do? First and foremost, let me tell you this. I was a person that was working at a plant job that had a car just as nice as the boss, if not nicer. Okay? So when I worked at that job, because you know how the materialistic world is, you got something nice, you got everything you want, including a woman or a man, depending on what your flavor is, right? Okay. Let me tell you this, especially to the exes out there that thought you had it going on when somebody flirted with you and you slept with them and you thought I couldn't get nobody. I already had it going on. If I had $1 for every woman who hit on me at them jobs, I'd be a complete and utter millionaire. I'd be a complete millionaire because that's all it took. I turned down them women, I had a ring on my finger. They would get beside me and work purposely and talk dirty. And they would say, I would tell them, I'm trying to get my job done. I'm trying to do a good work at work. I'm trying to do 100% even though my boss ain't looking. And this woman go out her way, get the boss to move her over there where I work at, just to flirt. And she sit there and work good. And then she finally get the nerves up to say something, and she want to talk dirty and hit on me, and I show her the ring, and she said that ain't got nothing to do with me, and I basically be like, away from me, Satan. And she go tell the rest of Satan minions, and I ain't got to worry about it no more at the job. I just passed the test. After that, I start elevating at the job. You see how the energy work? God and Satan is watching. Satan can't attack you without God's permission. That's what Job's story trying to tell us. That's why I said Satan is an angel at the end of the day. Regardless, y'all act like you trying to save Satan. You can't save Satan. Only God can save Satan. Satan is an angel at the end of the day. Satan is the dark side of the angels. Satan's job is to make you do darkness. Make you embrace. I can't believe y'all ain't got this shit. You got an angel over darkness, right? If everybody, that angel is to whisper. Satan ain't in there with y'all party. Ooh, yeah, I'm in here with you. Satan ain't doing that. Satan whispering to you, and you going to do it. So automatically, that take you and put you behind it. It puts you behind Satan, right? So now that angel is in charge of all you demons. Man, that's common sense. Man, you can't reach God no more. You had your chances to reach God. You had your chances to elevate the God. And God, you kept praying to God. God this and God that. Okay, Satan, they ready, Satan. Let's go ahead and hit them with the Job. Okay, God, let's get them with the Job. The difference between you and Job is Job passed his test. Your test was a lot simpler than Job. Job lost it all. That was the power in it. All they had to do was bring you up some good sex and let naked man come up to you. Ooh, you don't even know the chemistry of your own body. You think, oh, that's exactly it. This is exactly how it's gonna wear you out and run your well dry. Same thing, vice versa. We're gonna take you and put, God, they sold you out for sex. Okay, they didn't make none of the other tests. You mean to tell me you didn't even make it to the point that they were gonna have to lose their car, lose everything they got? No, they never even made it to that part. We just walked Jody in there and they fell off the map. Okay, put you behind their back. You don't count no more. You pray all day long and don't count. You got to start passing tests with Satan now. How you pass tests with Satan? Oh, Satan gonna keep the chemistry going. Satan gonna keep Jody. When you done with that, Jody, Satan got nothing to send to you. That's how. What we gotta understand is we gotta get our justice back as a whole. Can't no enemy. It don't matter. You gotta stand strong. I saw a woman in she was talking to the government or something. I don't know who she was talking to, but she said some real stuff. I can't even remember what she said, but she was standing up straight. Obviously, and she was confident that she realized you gotta be clean and cleansed when you going around this kind of power. Because if you sideways, you can't lean in that kind of power. And that's what keep them kind of powers in power. And we always thought it was white and black, and they were laughing at us. It ain't never been about color when it get to that kind of power. And wealth ain't got nothing to do with color. You can go ask any wealthy person in the world, they'll tell you, color ain't got nothing to do with money. They're actually fun to deal with and be around. You'll learn a lot of wisdom up there, if you can get up there. Now, they ain't letting y'all in that pipeline until you learn these lessons, bro. I'm trying to teach y'all how to learn these lessons. And until you learn these lessons, we just gonna be like looking at each other and y'all gonna sacrifice each other. I'm gonna sit here and wish you would. And my ancestors just gonna cut your heads off. Cause my ancestors, did you see what they did to me? They tortured me. Okay, but anyway. All right, so what do we do then? You finally get a lover and you get in a relationship. Work on patterns, because guess what? They gonna stop your black ass from getting them patterns. So y'all gonna have to come together and beat the demons in that. See, it's an energy in it. You gonna have to get to figure out. You can't just put the race card down, my people. If they want to keep pulling it, let them pull it. Put it down, because it don't count. And one of the best trainers I ever had in my life was a complete and utter racist. And he had to train me, and he said so many in jokes, it'll blow your mind. We was in there talking junk to each other all the way, 100%. But we worked, but he taught me how to work, and I became just as good as worker as him. And I thank God for that man to this day. His name was Stone. I thank God for that man. He kind of knew what I was in. He wanted me to stay at that job and live over there where he at. But I told him, you ain't hanging me in your back, y'all. That's how we used to talk to each other. But we were real good. He was the best. Another guardian angel. You'll be amazed who God bring in your life that's your guardian angel. You probably hate their guts if you didn't kill them. That's the way it works. I'm showing y'all energy, bro. We ain't talking about, I don't belittle myself like that. It ain't never got nothing to do with racism. So you come on, that's just their excuse to keep y'all from bothering them. It's a hell of a card trick, ain't it? Just like this test we in, sacrificing each other. That's a hell of a card trick, ain't it? You keep a whole bunch of people going around in circles since they keep wanting to eat the tail. You stay out of us. We going straight. Y'all the one going around in circles. The obstacle was to make them eat their own tail. Sometimes, depending on how deep the situation is, well, I ain't gonna say that because y'all done join so much, you don't even know how to not join. So that ain't gonna work. Can't teach you my ways. You gotta learn your own. God get guide. You gotta pray and meditate and let God. I told y'all that Bible, the manuscript. It's bad when your enemy know it better than you do. So many people don't go to church at all. They probably read that Bible before. They probably mastered that Bible before they were 14 years old. That's like learning your ABCs then. It was a necessity. Mandatory. It's the human manuscript. That Bible teaches you how to keep your justice. Preserve your good karma. And alleviate bad karma. Powerful. Most powerful is 3 energies every human being in the world needs to know before they can move forward in life. Dick Gregory said, that's what I disagree with. I'm going to start saying it because they were powerful people and I respect them. We all family. I love them. But Dick Gregory said, a Bible and a gun shouldn't be in the same place. I bet it's different. I learned about that Bible when I was in the worst place in my life. And I didn't know that part. There wasn't no wisdom around me to teach me otherwise. And it got me here. I don't got a gun now, don't need one. But you see the power in that? You see the power. I love guns though. I deal with them though. But I was like, I wanna rebuild a shooting range. I think they already have, thank God, and put them little things in and people run around. You get exercise in there, but you shoot the little, you shoot, you shooting gun. You exercise and climb walls and everything. I think they finally working on that. Good job. I don't care if you took the idea. I just want to see it. Eventually, when it finally move up, we can start watching that on TV, like races and stuff. And everybody be like, ooh, you see him do that? Ooh, you see him? That's a good exercise. But you better ask my father though. My father might not agree to all that. I don't know. I just like, I was raised like that. I was born in chaos. I was born around monsters that would kill you if you had pray for them. They'll beat you down, bro, if you pray. So this is different when you raised around monsters. These ain't humans, But anyway, I still learned about God the best way. God was still the way out of it though. But they couldn't kill me, they can just beat me to death. But anyway, so what do a couple do when they get together? I wouldn't know, I never had now. I was just playing. What do a couple do when they get together? You work on patterns together. Once you done figured out the human chemistry with one another, what that's gonna do is that keep y'all from getting tired of each other. Once you know you're a perfect fit, once you done made sure you fit, what we must understand is that all this sex issue, it wasn't back in the past. Of course it was back in the past, but it wasn't back in the past. It wasn't so broad. When something is too broad, it wind up getting broadcast. It wasn't broadcast back then like it is today. So that's an issue now, and it need to be rectified. And it's because of sheer ignorance. Guaranteed, I know that for a fact. Told everybody to get the gynecology book. I don't even know much, but I just read the first 2 chapters and I said, God damn, this is it? I was like, this is what the problem is right here. And I just knew off top if I can be with a woman or not without even being with her. That was power right there. And then I realized just finding a twin or a twin flame or a soulmate would be a lot easier because all of them gon' pretty much fit. I just over-experienced, bro. Overstanding, bro. Y'all work together, y'all built together, y'all like built. When y'all were built in the Astro, it's almost like y'all were built in the same, like they groups, and y'all was the same group, built the same way. It's like when you work at a plant, that's why I told everybody to go work for a while so you can understand how it go. When you work, you got teeths in these machines. They call them teeths. And if you got group A might use T6 teeth. And that whole group, you can only use T6 teeth. Okay, the next group B, okay, that group might use T7 teeth. You gotta interchange the teeth on the machine, and it's gonna be all that group gonna be T7 teeth. That's how it works. Like I said, some of y'all with millionaires and everything. You got a lot going for yourself and don't know the simplest things in the world. So we forgot. We walked away from what's truly relevant. We strayed away, just like how do I know that we strayed away from what was relevant and what was natural? Oh, that's simple. That's easy. Our water contaminated, our air contaminated. How the hell is you gonna let anybody contaminate the elements you need to survive? Duh. And y'all in here picking on it, he ha ha, and then you lost some of your mind, Down syndrome. This stuff comes from somewhere. I'm gonna start saying it because it comes from somewhere. Retardation, Down syndrome, it all came from somewhere. So we're gonna have to go back, even if that means exposing parents. It all came from somewhere. God don't make no mistakes. What happened if you live in a curse? What happened if you embrace generation curses instead of choosing to break generational curses and obtaining generational wealth? You start to draw up. You start to draw up. And over lifetime, over generations, you eventually draw up to the point where you handicap. Common sense, man. Some of y'all need to sit still. Just like you put me in solitude, you need to put yourself there. You know what I be thinking about? You know what be on my mind? It don't be relationships. It don't be this. It don't. You know what be mainly on my mind? What really be on my mind? Who? It gotta be one person, right? Who in the hell in this world actually convince human beings to contaminate the elements of Earth that we need to survive? That person ain't even from this galaxy. Did you cut CERN on and bring him here? Was CERN here a long time? Which it wasn't. I'm just using it for example. Was CERN here centuries ago? Who is this person that's in that's supreme over supreme over supreme power that gave human beings the bright idea to contaminate the elements of Earth? They got to be great and brilliant because you're still doing it. You do it for dollar. Y'all put the people who can save y'all from these situations that's going to epidemically, catastrophically ruin your life before it take your life, and you get paid to do it. You got jobs to do it. I'll make you look like this. I saw a girl on it was on Boondock Saints too. She said, uh, smart people don't like me because I make them feel retarded. y'all go look that movie, bro. This woman came out, she was from Texas. She told them cop, smart people don't like me because I make them feel retarded. Be like that. For me, it ain't really being smart, bro. It's from being so poverty, bro. Somebody kept me in poverty for so long. I had to learn to live off nature, even if I didn't want to. And even if we living in the modern time where we don't have to, I still had to. Somebody got a thrill off this torture. And it didn't bother me because I knew if they could get away with it with me, it's a lot of people in this situation. Y'all better go get them all out of there, especially America, if you want this country to stand strong again. Because this is karma. You reckon up karma just for the country itself. See, you put this money in. You went to these big major colleges to understand energy. Why you ain't living by it? Some colleges we can't get into if we pray to get into it, and they mainly teach you about energy. Why we ain't living by it? Sometimes silence is a lot better than sounds from music, TV, anything. Just sheer silence. So anyway, like I said, I'm gonna do a couple do when they get together. You attack these demons that been holding us in suppressed mode. It ain't got nothing to do with race. It ain't got nothing to do with color neither. It got to do with you passing them tests. God just warped the energy because you failed the test. Now you gotta pass the tests. You pass the tests, you gotta straighten back up the energy. Job's story, Job passed the test. Job energy got straightened out because Job passed all the tests. And Satan sent y'all the first test and you failed. You never made it to 1, 2. You never made it to 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. It was a lot more tests you got to do. You never made it over there. That's like God. I was talking to my father one time about 3 years ago, and he was telling me what was important in the Ouroboros, and he said even money was. But some people get that first before they get the other part. And some people, like I said, some people come in and they north node, some people come in and they south node. So it's basically like when my lover do get here, my lover 9 times out of 10 gonna be living in her north node, and I'm already in my south node, but we both high vibrational beings in our north node and in our south node. So when you put us together, that's whole. The key is to get whole, HOLE. The key is for twins and twin flames to come together. That's one of the main keys on this earth. That's one of literally, that's one of the top 5 main keys on this earth is to find your flame. It's a game. What you gotta understand, if it's a game, you got football, right? You can score the touchdown. Yeah, I win. Where that come from? Come from the real game. What's the real game? You gotta know what God put you here first to do. Generational curses, get rid of them. It's enough here for all of us, starting with Eve eating the apple. Like I said, a woman can just fix that. A woman can fix that. Even though it was the first sin that put us all in there, it can actually get fixed right now before the rest of the sin. The first person who killed, that probably going through that bloodline. If you look this up, I'm pretty sure if you trace it down, every last one of these sins that was committed is still in the same bloodline. Even if it was done, the first person who ever killed somebody still in the same bloodline today. Adam, whoever, when Adam manipulated Adam into eat, when Eve manipulated Adam into eating the apple, that manipulation is still in that bloodline today. So, 8.2 billion people, we all got a job to do here because all the sins that have accumulated over time, it's going to take every last one of us to try to fix, because some of us, even if all of us tried it, all of us ain't going to pass it, because see, the test start then. You truly want to get out the matrix system, you must activate your test for even being here in the first place. Like me, God sat me right here in this one spot, and not one time, well, probably in the beginning, but I can't even remember the last time that I actually felt stagnated. Cause I'm seeing I'm seeing the world be remodified before my very eyes, just from what God told me to tell you guys. So I'm watching change come. I'm watching change remodify. I'm watching evolution in the beautifulest way possible, without all that hatred. You don't see me over here blaming the white man, blaming the Indian man, blaming I tell him what you've done to me in my lifetime. You don't see me ever doing that. I ain't never had a problem with a nationality. They love me. Everybody love me. I had more problem with my own people attacking me just for having something. And that's why I'm attacking y'all. That's why I'm over here with y'all. That's why I'm in here with y'all. I die for y'all, die with y'all. But you gonna learn this lesson. Cause you sitting there breaking down. It's like for my people, we don't wanna see none of us achieve. No, we gonna learn to congratulate each and every last one of us for achieving. That's what we finna learn to do. We gonna do it on my watch, on God's watch. We finna get right or get left. Ain't nobody finna keep playing with y'all. You know what's worse? You know what? You know the worstest thing about a sleeping giant? They in the way. They in the way. A sleeping giant in the way. Move it out the way so the cars can go by. Now, so we're gonna have to either wake up or get moved out the way. That's the way they go. Anyway, like I was saying about lovers and relationships, I never been in my life. What I know about it, I got to study. Whatever I don't get to have in my life, whatever never got to come into my life, I studied it thoroughly to just in case I prepare myself for it, and I show God that if it ever become my life, I'm ready for it to be my life. So with that being said, let me teach you what I learned about it. What do you do once you get in this relationship and you realize you're supposed to be in a relationship? That's why back in the day, y'all used to see people with people you least expect. Then what they doing together? Don't worry about what they doing together. They fit. They ain't got to keep going from size to size to size until they turn into a mushroom out this. Don't worry about it. They fit. Fake laugh. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it, y'all. Everybody in everybody business, that's the problem. Y'all they even got a little thing for y'all. It ain't but 2 or 3 of them. They even got a little thing for y'all to stay nosing everybody business. That's that snake eating his tail shit. I don't blame them. I do y'all like that too. If you act like you can't re-navigate yourself, you'll put Jesus Christ in a box and laugh at him, laugh at his sex and everything. That's how ignorant you are. Now, um, um, now let's figure out how we can make the world a better place. Okay, yeah, let's start with the relationship so everybody can stay out of everybody else's bed. Damn. Anyway, you know the beautiful thing about learning how to love each other? It's interesting. It's interesting. Because you a lover man, you a lover woman, y'all love each other. It's interesting. Now you studying each other. You're not rushing into each other. You're not abusing one another. You're actually trying to learn how to caress each other. You're actually trying to learn how to love each other. You're actually trying to learn how to be one with one another and keep your business in that home. That's your home. That ain't everybody else's home. You shouldn't be calling your friend. You don't even get married if that's still a tendency. You gotta call your friend. My personal advice is if you want to get married at an early age, wait till when you ain't gotta call nobody and ask them about your man or your woman. When you ain't gotta call not a soul and ask them about your man or your woman, then you can get married. Your grandparents ain't calling you for advice. I said something then, didn't I? Did he say something then? I know I said something then. I ain't even gotta be on live to know I said something then. They don't ask you for advice. You call your grandparent and you tell them your situation in your life, and they tell you their experience, wisdom. It's a beautiful thing to be in a relationship. If you loved each other before, you can love each other again. One of my main things, I ain't gonna tell all that on here because it's none of your business. One of my main things was how to keep the sex interesting. I told you one thing, I ain't telling you, there's way more to it than that. But how to keep the sex interesting. Because after you done been together 15, 17 years, you still want to have sex, right? Well, one thing for sure is you got to have it so many times a day regardless. And another thing for sure is that you better make sure you're pleasing each other. So that's going to take some work, huh? If she went with you for the size, now that she done got wore out to your size, it's no longer interested in you. You better work on it before she look for a bigger size. Fake lag. Now, how we gonna fix this? Y'all gonna fix this. I ain't got nothing to fix. But I did tell you this though. Like when we get together, we high vibration. South Node. What made me in my South Node? Because the poverty level that kept me in. So 9 times out of 10, my lover would be in her North Node. We get together, we be whole. What do we do then? We work on this business situation. Even though she do got it going on, must have a problem. She must have an issue, or she got a dream. Same with me. Or maybe I don't have a dream. That's even better for her, right? Okay, if she got a dream, let's talk about your dream, honey. Let's figure out how we can make this dream come true. How much force do you want to put on it? How much do you actually want to work on your dream? Because some people can have a dream and really don't want to put much work in it. You know, let's talk about your dream. And for me, that's enough attention to the woman, because a woman can tend to ask for too much attention, and then the man will stop working, and then the man just collapse basically, because then she gonna need a man at work, and then that's what 1 man, 2 man, 3 man, 4 man come in. That ain't gonna work. Because this is a game we gotta pass. God put his children here to be men and women. You know, I guess that's it for today. But yeah, this young lady on West Coast, she got it going on. Y'all better go check her. I thank God for you. All these lectures that was going on, only everybody acting like they was ashamed to talk about God. I'm tired of the guy. Only people that will ever even say that is Satan means. So we cleanse them off the social media. You get cleansed off. You get cleansed out. We exercising. You can't tell this is a freedom of country. This is freedom of speech, man. We want to talk about God. You want to talk about Diddy all day. I don't want to hear nothing about Diddy. I want to talk about God. I don't mind the story because it's going to help people, trust me. But you don't need if it's 20 broadcasts, 20 talk show broadcasting online, that's all it was. Why do at least 15 of them gotta be about Diddy? Out of everything we need to work on in the world today. Unfortunately, he had out of 100% of the world, he almost had 90 to 85%. That's embarrassing enough. Well, this kind, I don't know, probably the world. I don't even want to talk about it. My child wouldn't have been over there. Period. Thank God though. I was born and raised with monsters. In the slums, when you born in chaos, it's a whole bunch of Diddies. I see a lot of women leave with Diddies and never come back to life. They stay dead. They stay tore up. They stay broken. Never get themselves back together. They was enjoying themselves while they did. They gave them the drugs. The drugs is what keep them doing it. Without the drugs, they're not sexually active. They don't want to talk. They don't even want a man around them. They don't want nobody, no sex partners around them. Why? Because they already burn out and their well is almost dry. It's the science and the nature of the human biology. That's why I said learn the human chemistry. We over here fighting. They got us fighting and arguing and killing each other over something that's temporary regardless. It's a joke. It's an illusion to keep a whole bunch of psychopaths stuck and to keep y'all from breaking down somebody else's empire by accident. So, peace and love out there.